Hello and welcome to the It's Your Effin' Journey podcast. My name is Melissa McQueenie and I'm a licensed therapist who is sick of the bullshit, blanket advice given from experts instead of recognizing the unique and beautiful differences in us all. In this podcast, I will share pieces of my journey with you in an attempt to help you block out the outside noise so that you can determine what is right for you. If there's one thing I've learned in my career, it's that everyone's journey looks different. And I'm here to remind you that just because something works for me doesn't mean it'll work for you. But my hope is that when you start listening to your own voice, you'll be able to tell the rest of the world, you do you, because you'll be A-okay with where you're headed and celebrating everyone's journeys as they are supposed to go very soon. So without further ado, what time is it? Podcast time. It's a celebration. What time is it? Podcast time. Hello, happy Monday. It is July 22nd. Thank you guys for your support and your questions for Madikit this weekend. I hope you enjoyed our little bonus episodes. It was super nice to have that time with her to sort of show her what I do and how it all works while she is going to be exploring podcasting in her summer school this week. And I am happy to report that she is loving summer school. She is having so much fun. She's made so many new friends. Most importantly, which I think is the most important thing that this impact could have had on her before starting middle school, is having these positive interactions with adults and teachers, and sort of learning that it doesn't have to be the way that it was in her elementary school. So I'm really, really grateful to the staff there who has been so fun and given her a great time because she really, really needed it. So I wanted to talk today about, so there's two things. I meant to talk about this on social media this weekend, and I don't think I've told the whole story, so I'm going to tell the story. Over the weekend was the 24th anniversary of me meeting my husband, and I just think this is such a fun story, and also sort of shows my growth because for so long, this story didn't embarrass me, but it did a little bit. And I'm stepping into my life now in this realm of, I'm so sick of hiding my stories or other people's stories because I feel like it says something about me. And I want to be the only one who says things about me. I want to be the only one who can tell stories about me. And I don't mean that, like, obviously people are going to talk shit. They're going to talk shit all the time. They're going to tell happy stories, bad stories, ugly stories, all the stories that you can imagine. I'm not trying to control that narrative. What I'm trying to mean is that in my own life, I want to share stories and not have them mean anything about me that I don't want them to mean. I don't even know if that makes sense, but in this moment, it does make sense to me. So I'm going to share this story with you. So the year was 2020. No, it wasn't. I said that on social media a couple weeks ago too. It was not 2020. It was 2000. The year was 2000. Y2K. If you were around in Y2K, you know we almost thought our lives were going to be ending when the new year came. And that year I got broken up with by my college boyfriend, who I just loved so much. He cheated on me, broke my heart, and it was a single summer for me. And if you've been around me a while, I haven't had a lot of single time in general. It's one of my biggest regrets. I wish I spent way more time by myself, but it took me 40 years to realize that. I was one of those like serial relationship people. Like, I needed to be in a relationship. That's where I felt the best, is if somebody else loved me. And I know that sounds sad, but I can say that now. And, you know, that history got me to where I am now. So I was broken up with, devastated, like so sad that summer. I just remember I went to Jones Beach with my bestie, and I got so sunburned, and I had to babysit that night. I'll never forget this. And I don't think he had broken up with me yet, but it was coming. And I was babysitting. on the couch. The kids were sleeping, luckily. And I was like, you know, when you have a fresh sunburn and nothing will make you happy, like you're hot, you're cold, you're just miserable. And that is when I think I found out he cheated on me. And it was the worst babysitting job of my life. I'll never forget it. But anyways, fast forward. I had this single summer. I was on the loose. I was on the prowl. I had my other bestie with me. We were having all sorts of adventures. It was so stinking fun. And, that was that. So we had a party at my friend's house. It was a birthday party for one of his friends. And I was at the party. I remember this fucking gorgeous man walks in. He's tall, like he's 6'3", so I don't know if I realized he was 6'3" then, but he was tall. He had blue eyes, like piercing blue eyes. He looked like Tom Brady. And I was obsessed. And I don't remember how our interaction progressed. I just remember, like, you know, when you see those people and you're like, world stops and like lightning sparks and fireworks go off. Like, that's what it was like. And we were in the kitchen and we started making out, like super making out, like so hot. And I went to the bathroom and I came out and he was gone. Fucking gone into oblivion, into thin air. The guy ran so fucking fast, like I don't even know what happened. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, first of all, I was like excited to get out of the bathroom and start like making out again. And he's gone. He's gone. Nowhere to be found. So what do? I get wasted at this party because why not? And I end up calling his father's house because I don't know, I found his number somehow. And I don't think he answered the phone, but I definitely like talked shit, maybe to his dad, who is now my father-in-law. But the story was, and this is the fucking story that this guy told to everyone, is that I had bad breath. I had bad breath, and that's why he left the party. Now he tells me it's because he knew that I was going to lock him down and he wasn't ready for it. I'm sure the truth is somewhere in the middle of that, but I was embarrassed and mortified and humiliated and so hurt by this whole interaction. So I didn't see him for years. That was 2000. And then I think I saw him again 3 years later. My friend was cat sitting his friend's cat, and he lived like next door, and I saw him on a porch and he like waved to me and I like growled at him. He was like, wow, like she hates me. And I was like, well, yeah, because you fucking left me in the kitchen all hot and bothered and then told everyone I had bad breath. Like, why would I ever give you the time of the day? But we were written in the stars because 2 years after that in 2005. I don't know what year. I don't know. We reconnected when he moved in with my best friend, and I like it was when I met him 5 years later. It was just like I had met him in 2000. Like the sun and the moon stopped. And the reason that our wedding song is It's You and Me is that's how it felt. Like the world like shut out and it was me and him in conversation and nothing else mattered. Nothing else mattered. So that's how I met my husband. That's how I met my fucking husband. So I wanted to serve like Tic Tacs at our wedding, and he told me no. I think he's more embarrassed about that story when I tell it now than anything else. Probably because either he was lying or he married the girl with bad breath. Like, I don't know. What are you gonna do? So, 24 years ago we met, and we're still rocking it out, guys. We're still going forward. So the topic of today that I wanted to share about was social media. This came up, and it's not really social media, but it's sort of how to mentally handle this election. And I thought this was a great time. Obviously, if you are listening if you're listening at all, yesterday was a big day in the election. Biden dropped out and endorsed Kamala Harris, which is fucking exciting if you ask me. And if you're not excited by that, you probably want to stop listening now, because I am a raging liberal. and it's only, I mean, I don't often talk about politics, but I do want the right people to be here and to be listening. And this political season and climate is very important to me. I just saw a meme, no woman wants her daughters to have less rights than she did. And this is a really fucking important election. So I'm going to say that, and then I'm going to shut up and talk about mental health and protecting yourself during this election. But I really want you to move into this season with intention, because if you don't have intention when it comes to the media, to social media, to your interactions with others, conversations with others, you're gonna feel depleted and angry and frustrated. And I don't want you to feel like that moving into this season. I know we're so split right now, and there's so many big emotions and big feelings, and we all have them, right? Like, no matter what side you're on, we have them, and it's a hard time in our country. So what can we do to be the most intentional with our mental health in this time? And one of the things is, I'm going to talk about social media, because I feel like a lot of people go to social media for connection and community, and sometimes news. I hope not news, but I want to remind you how important it is to fact check things. I had an hysterical, I mean, I can laugh at myself all the time. I usually I try to fact check. I try not to say shit that's not true. That's my goal in life, but I fuck up too. The other day I was on Instagram stories and I was like, oh my God, it's Amazon Prime Day and Jeff Bezos just backed Trump, so we can't do Amazon Prime Day. And one of my favorite followers and friends that I run with messaged me, and he was like, I think you have your billionaires confused, because Jeff Bezos, or not Jeff Bezos, no, I'm saying it wrong again. This is what I do, guys. Jeff Bezos is Amazon. I learned that through this interaction. I was saying Elon Musk. I was saying Elon Musk is backing Trump. We cannot shop at Amazon. And my friend was like, no, wrong billionaire. Elon Musk is not Amazon. Elon Musk is Tesla. Jeff Bezos is Amazon. We're good to go with Amazon Prime. But just a funny story about how I inaccurately, and then I took down the story, and I apologize for those that had seen it. But remember to check your facts. Fact check your information before you post about it, before you respond to it, before you fucking freak out about it. What I do with social media, and I've shared this before, and I'm going to share it again, because I feel like sometimes it takes people a lot of times to hear something before they're like, oh shit, maybe this does apply to me. I am ruthless with the block and the unfollow button. Friends, family, it doesn't matter what your relation is to me. If my parents were on social media, they would be blocked, because my social media is not a place for my parents. Aunts, uncle, I've cousins, I've blocked Tucker's family. Like, there is no one that is immune to my blocking or unfollowing. If you're in my social media for the wrong reasons. 2, if you just annoy me. 3, if you post crazy shit that I don't agree with, you're gone. I know how important it is. So, and let me go back, because a lot of the times we hear how detrimental social media can be. And I agree with that. If you are not using it intentionally, if you are not really strategic in how much you use it, how you use it, how much you're consuming, it can be really detrimental. I don't have an unhealthy relationship with social media. Could I plug my phone in more and turn off more? Absolutely. I do love to consume. However, I am really good about cultivating an environment that I really want to see when I open my social media. So if I opened it the other day, I saw some stupid fucking picture of like a girl, a woman with like a American flag bandana, and it was like, I'm a Trump girl. And I was like, if there's one thing that I can't handle more than anything, it's it's women that are for Trump. I just will never understand it. It just boggles my mind. So I knew I don't ever want to see that again. So I told Facebook that immediately. Facebook is there to, and now that I have video, I can even like demonstrate how I do this, because Facebook is there. They want to know what you want to see because they want you to use the app more. And if we tell them, you know, like I don't even know if something would pop up for me that's bad because I've just done such a good job. Like I do, like the I'm with her. Like I want to see more of that. Like I might tell Facebook that later. But if I see things about Trump, I block, I unfollow. And this goes for both sides. Again, I don't know why you'd be here if you're for Trump, but you know, make this a space that you want to be in. I like when people are like, I'm taking breaks from social media. I understand that. I respect that. However, you can make this a positive place. Like when I open Instagram, I'm flooded with running, Taylor Swift, exercising, any sort of like physical movement, people who are into mental health. Like that is what my feed is because I have created that. So set those boundaries, cut those people off that are not good for you. Now, when it comes to being in person, some things that you can do is, you know, ask people or have a political no politics discussion. If you're having your own party and you're like, I don't even want to go there, or I know that some problematic people are going to be here, say no politics. This is a no politics zone. I've had to do that at Music Bingo. There's been some discussions that have come up politically, and you know, Music Bingo is my happy place, and it's a place where I can like zone out and unwind and relax. I do not want that to be a place where I have to protect my peace. So, you know, I've requested that be a politics off space. If that can't be respected, then I go sit at another table. Like I'm going to protect my space, my peace at all costs. So if you go into that mentality of like, okay, let me protect my peace. Let me protect this energy. Let me enjoy the things that I want to enjoy. Maybe it comes down to you. There are certain people that you can't see during this time, right? Maybe it's a time limited thing. Like I cannot stand my Aunt Sally during this election season because she is relentless and will not respect my boundaries about no politics. Then Aunt Sally doesn't get an invite to your barbecue. And you know what? That's okay. It is okay. I'm working with a client who has a really hard time setting boundaries with family. She's just like, she wants to love on all members of her family. And I'm like, that is just such a hard ask to be okay with everyone in your family and put out all that energy all the time and get that energy back. Like just because someone's your family doesn't mean that they have access into your life. Like, I can't stress that enough, guys. It doesn't matter who someone is. Why would you give them access to your life if it's harmful to you? You have to look out for you. Remember this tattoo. Maybe you don't have it like I do, but I look at that and I say, is this for me? Is this like my goal right now is taking care of me, looking out for me, looking out for the things that are in her best interest. And you need to be like get a band, do something to make sure that you're looking out for yourself and your own mental health. Turn off the fucking news. I can't even tell you, I've not done a study about this, but I would guarantee that the people with the most anxiety, the most worry, the people who can't escape this the most are also the people consuming it all the time. Stay informed and get the fuck off. Like my parents watch the news constantly. It is all the time. All the time. And the media is not a great place for us. They want to scare us. They don't always send the best messages. And, you know, especially if you're only watching one news source, like at least diversify your news sources, but turn off the news. Like I do not watch the news, and it drives Tucker crazy. Tucker is a big news guy. If there's something big going on, like I forget what happened the other night, he stays up and just watches the news. I shouldn't say watches the news. He does his own research about whatever's happening, and he always wants to tell me and talk to me about what's happening, and I have no idea. And he hates it. But guess what? I'm a much happier person than he is. It's just the truth. Like, I have way less anger, way less worry. I don't let things bother me. And I think when it comes to like being happier or being or having better mental health or having less stress, get curious. Instead of being like, what is that person doing? Be like, what is that person doing and can I do what they're doing? Right? Instead of being like, oh, well, that person doesn't want, they don't know all the details about, whatever is happening on Wall Street or in the White House. Like, I don't fucking care, and I don't need to care. I know how important it is to, vote and talk about my feelings, and we talk in my house constantly about politics. There's always a debate going on. And that's the other thing is donate your time. Donate your time, volunteer your time. I went the other day and I did a bunch of, on Planned Parenthood, their website, there was a bunch of letters. What is like the right word? Letters that you send to like senators to speak your mind and your voice. I sent a bunch of those letters. It felt really good to like say, blah, 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 blah. I know that's really technical and high tech, but I'll put the website that I used in my show notes. And I really have to go because I have a session. But but put your if you're like, I don't know what to do, and maybe like the news is not super helpful for you, but you also want to do something. Do something. Go Google like how to help with women's rights, how to, stand up for abortion, like whatever your platform is, wherever you feel comfortable, go and do something productive. It helps to do. I know I always love to do in times when I feel helpless. And I think a lot of this, it feels helpless because what do we do? Especially if we're in a smaller state like Connecticut, that doesn't really make a difference. But maybe you're in a bigger state. Maybe you can canvass. Maybe you can door knock. Maybe you can make calls. Like, intentionally use your time and intentionally set your boundaries. I love you guys. I have a session literally right now, so I got to go. But if you enjoyed this episode or if this touched you in any way, please screenshot it and tag me on Instagram at Melissa McQueenie. I would love to personally thank you for listening to this episode and getting my message out to other people. It only touches other people and other people in the world when you share it. So I really, really appreciate you guys that share these podcasts, and I appreciate you being here, and I love you, and I hope you have a great week. Mwah!